It's been quite a little while since I've made a Zelda video. There hasn't been a lot of information for Ocarina of Time, and that is also why I didn't have a piano video planned for today, unfortunately. Don't worry, I'm getting a bunch of them recorded right now, so that way when the Zelda news starts to pour in, that we can be ready for that with tons of music ready to go. But with that said, yeah, we have somewhat of some news today. Once again, Nintendo still being very hush-hush, quiet-lipped about this game, but we might have some more hints at the subtitle and kind of theming of what this remake is going to be, or it could just be a bunch of nonsense that we're looking into. And I'll talk about both sides here. Once again, before we get started, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. We are super close to 400K. You guys can make that happen right now, right here, today. Probably not today, but let's see how many people we can get to like and subscribe from this video today to get even closer to our goal. Thank you so much for tuning in, and let's dive into the Zelda news. So all of this information comes from a new Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake page in a summer catalog, and it states that the slogan is Reborn across time. Now there is a QR code on the page, but I don't think it takes us to anywhere important, unfortunately, because no one's really touched on that. It said if it did, because if it did, it'd be all over the internet everywhere. People would be like, go to this website, the website's up or something, but no real official new information outside of just this Reborn thing. Now, there's some people out there that think that this has some significant meaning. They keep saying Reborn, 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 Reborn across time. This isn't labeled as a remaster. It hasn't even been labeled as a remake yet. They keep just calling it Reborn. And now having a slogan of Reborn across time, a lot of people are starting to feel like this could be something really ambitious that Nintendo is gearing up to. And I still think it is going to be pretty ambitious. Maybe not as big as what some people are expecting, but I am expecting some big things here. It's still just very strange to me. With this being a second remake for this game, Nintendo only showed a glimpse of Link sleeping in his bed. They gave us no release date for a game that's coming out this year, and they still have been silent about the game as we are slowly approaching the month of August. And with this being one of their only holiday games sharing, a season with Switch Sports Resort, I don't think Switch Sports Resort is going to show up as a big holiday game. You also have Fire Emblem Fortunes Weave in September, but I mean, let's face it, that franchise is still trying to find its footing for more of a broad audience. But yeah, Ocarina of Time Remake is going to absolutely run this holiday season, and Nintendo knows this. So I'd honestly be so shocked if it wasn't ambitious. I mean, we've talked about this a lot, and it just makes so much sense when you look at the way that they're marketing this thing and what they've shown so far, which is hardly anything. But at the same time, there are a lot of people pushing back at this and saying that this means absolutely nothing. Take Reaper on Twitter that states, I'm getting a bunch of YouTube videos about this popping up. You're about to get another one. Some claiming that the Reborn slogan and the Ocarina remake already confirms it's a massive game like Final Fantasy VII Remake, when that's not the case. Folks, Nintendo already used Reborn to promote Zelda Skyward Sword HD, and this is definitely true. Nintendo of America actually tweeted out, "Take to the skies and discover the origins of Hyrule in The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD, Reborn on Nintendo Switch. Draw your sword with Joy-Con controllers or the newly added button controls." Yeah, they've done this already. They've used this word to describe Zelda Skyward Sword already. So yes, while this is true, Nintendo has almost very publicly made it clear that Reborn is the word for Ocarina of Time, where for Skyward Sword, it was kind of just a tweet and they were done. Also, remember, Skyward Sword was a small little remaster in comparison to what Nintendo is doing with this game, and they didn't have any secrets or hiding of the game. Like, immediately they showed off a trailer for the game, showing off the gameplay and everything like that, because it was just a remaster. And like, they've only used that word Reborn, if I'm not mistaken, through like a tweet. They didn't really use it for the announcement of the game, unless I'm completely missing something. I could be, okay? But for Ocarina of Time, they've said it in the Nintendo Direct, they placed it on the websites, and they've been saying it in advertisements and magazines over and over and over again, and even added even more things saying Reborn through time. I don't know. It could mean something, it could mean nothing. So it's really hard to say right now. We just freaking need Nintendo to show us something. So the question is When is Nintendo going to show us something? But there was another rumor going around that showed maybe GameStop leaked some information about the game and maybe a pre-order date of August 4th, which means, oh, that's coming up pretty soon. But Nate the Hate says, no, take it a step back. And it says, no, GameStop didn't leak the pre-order date nor price for The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. For whatever reason, Google is pulling the release date and pricing information for Beast of Reincarnation, which is a completely different game, which releases on August 4th, and Standard Edition retails for $60. This has nothing to do with Zelda. Something's messed up on the back end. But yeah, so don't freak out if you're like, oh, $60, it's going to be a cheap remake, or, you know, we don't know. It could be a $70, maybe even an $80 game, depending on what Nintendo's doing with it. And we also have no clue on its release date or anything right now. We're not going to know anything until Nintendo officially gives us that information in a direct or some type of announcement online. So yeah, this is nothing. Unfortunately, we still don't have much else information surrounding this game. The only thing we have, and the closest news, is from Hasbro. Yeah, the toy makers that apparently have something coming or being announced today at some time with the Hylian Shield and the Master Sword. If you look closely, I mean, these things look straight up rubber. It's probably like kids' rubber toys and stuff they can fight with and stuff. But yeah, it's probably also something to launch alongside the game, which makes a lot of sense. But yeah, it's pretty cool. If you're looking to get a, you know, rubber shield and sword, it looks like that's coming soon. So keep your eyes peeled on Hasbro for that. But I wanted to close with kind of an update as to what I think is going on with this game and when we'll actually see and hear from it again. I still feel like August is the best bet. It just makes too much sense. Splatoon Raiders comes out tomorrow, which leaves Nintendo with only 3 games left in the entire year. Isn't that crazy? Well, that's because we're reaching the end of the year already, which is wild. Yep, we have Fire Emblem Fortunes Weave in September. We have Switch Sports Resort in October, and probably Zelda Ocarina of Time in November with that dreaded GTA 6. So yeah, that's it for the year, but that leaves August with nothing. One of the few months, if not, might be the only month of the entire year, or since Switch 2 has come out, that we haven't had a game release of any sort. I mean, not even the simplest of a Switch 2 edition is releasing in August. I think there's a Duskbloods playtest, but that's it. So I am still betting that August is going to be the time period where we have a Nintendo Direct dedicated to the game. I think September we could still have our general Direct around the time we normally do, the first couple of weeks, and then you have your couple of games to end the year with Fire Emblem, Switch Sports, and obviously Ocarina of Time Remake before jumping into the goodies for next year. But I think that's what Nintendo's plan is. I'd be shocked, especially since they're appearing at some of the comms at the end of the year, like Japanese Game Show and I think even Gamescom. So yeah, they definitely have to make something shake here soon, bring up the game in some capacity. So I would be shocked if we don't have some type of Ocarina of Time or even a Zelda 40th anniversary direct sometime next month in August. But time will tell. We're already at the end of July, so we just have to wait a little bit longer until we start getting the goods. But what do you guys think this game is going to take a form as? Is this going to be a very ambitious remake? Is this just going to be something really small? Let me know what you think down below. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out, and I hope you all have a blessed rest of your day. See you guys.